Have you ever been rejected once, twice, or 3 times or more, and you're almost giving up? If yes, then this video is for you. Sit down, relax, and enjoy my journey on how I landed a job after several rejections. Good morning! Isang napakagandang umaga. Buenos dias, bom dia, ein guten morgen, bonjour, dobre jutro, calavera. This is your Filipino hamburger and welcome back to my channel. So this video is about my journey on how I landed a job in the health sector after several rejections. So it was December of 2019 when I first tried to enter the health sector. I applied for a job in this Japanese giant company in their Europe, Middle East, Africa headquarters here in Hamburg as a training manager. The job was very interesting because I get to organize trainings for medical professionals. So it's something new at the same time within my comfort zone, because I have already been organizing trainings, international trainings, seminars, and youth exchanges before I applied for this job. So finally, I got invited for an interview, but unfortunately, the schedule they gave me was the same day or the same time with my flight to the Philippines. So I asked them if we could have the interview later on. And yeah, fortunately, they agreed to interview me in January. So January of 2020, I passed the first round and they informed me right there and then that they have already found someone for that job. But they said there's a position for me and it's even better because I get to travel most of the time. Like 50% of the job requires traveling. And that means I would be flying to Middle East, North Africa, and all over Europe to organize trainings for medical practitioners, particularly surgeons. I was able to be part of the final 3. I had the interview with the vice president. I did my presentation. So after my final interview, the manager told me that, hey, Mr. Magkila, you have the most unique personality among the top 3 candidates. And I was like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? Because unique can be positive or negative. It depends on how you interpret the statement, right? And voila, rejected. I mean, they chose someone who has more than 15 years of experience in the field of medicine. And I'm just starting, so that's the first attempt, and that's the first rejection. So yeah, I got rejected from that giant Japanese company, but life goes on. So it was February of 2020 when I applied, or when I tried the second time to enter the health sector. I applied for a job in an international organization in Geneva as a learning and development specialist. I find the job really interesting and exciting because I get the chance to organize and conceptualize capacity building projects in Africa and Asia. Basically, the organization is working in the field of HIV, AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis. So yes, fast forward, I submitted my application on the same day of my flight again to the Philippines. Yes, guys. I went to the Philippines to attend a wedding of my friend. I was there for 1 week. And voila, I got an invitation for an interview. And guess what? The interview was scheduled on the same day my friend was getting married. Thank God there's time difference between Europe and the Philippines. And so after the wedding, I went to the reception. And after the reception, I went to my friend's house and I told them I have an important interview. I need an internet connection. And so I locked myself in her room, opened my laptop, and then voila, it started the interview. And of course, it was in the countryside, on an island. And as expected, the internet was not working properly. And so we shifted to a regular long distance call. So fast forward, I apparently survived the first round of interview, and so I was part of the top 3 and finally invited for the final round of the hiring process, which was the final interview with the 2 managers. And guess what? I got rejected again. Well, that's life. Second in Rejection in 2 months. Whew, life was not easy in the very beginning of 2020, but life goes on. And yeah, pandemic happened and I started to lose hope, and I thought, who would get a job when everyone is losing their job, when every business or almost every business is shutting down because of the lockdown? So, just went with the flow and just let the universe work. So I let go because there were things that beyond my control. April 2020, when I attempted for the third time to enter the health sector. Okay, so I found a job online, and it was a job for Germany's biggest private hospital chain. So the main task of the job is to integrate or to help international nurses from Africa, Latin America, Asia, Eastern Europe, Middle East to integrate in their new workplace and in their new home. I applied, I sent my application online. 1 month after, guess what? I didn't hear anything. So what I did, I contacted the hospital and it's like, hey, I sent you this application. Did you reject me already, or you are going to reject me yet? And so they told me that because the job is in the new department, and so they need to clear things internally, and that means the process will take longer than expected or planned. Fast forward, finally I got a job interview schedule. It was June when we had the interview, and days after the interview, the director told me that they are very interested to include me in their team. But because, again, it's a new department, a new position, it will take time for them to finalize everything. It was July, end of July, when they finally gave me the offer to be part of their team. And guess what, guys? It was an unlimited contract, which means it's a permanent job. So I was very excited. I was very happy that finally I have an offer in front of me, and it's a permanent job. And I negotiated when to start, and luckily they agreed that I start in October. So after my contract ended in August in the university where I worked, I got the chance to enjoy a 1.5 month long break before I started the new journey in this job. And it has been 3 months now since I started a job in this hospital, and wow, I couldn't be happier. I couldn't be grateful for the new experience, for the team I am with, for the nurses I get to interact every single day. It's a learning process. As I reflect now on these experiences of mine, applying not once, not twice, but 3 times in entering the health sector, I came to realize that definitely things happened for a reason. Because imagine, had I been selected to work in this giant Japanese multinational company, for sure the 50% of traveling won't take place, because early of 2020 until the second quarter of 2020, flying or traveling were restricted. I'm definitely sure that the training courses all over Europe, in the Middle East and North Africa were cancelled, or at least were shifted to the online platform. So I don't know if I would enjoy the job had I been selected, because plus who knows, maybe they have already fired me even before my probationary ended. Second, had I been selected to work for this international organization in Geneva, I'm not sure where will I be now. Because first, the contract was limited. It was only until December of 2020. Second, I heard from an insider that most of the projects of this organization were stopped because they had to redirect their funds to corona-related projects. So lucky me. Well, last but not the least, when we receive no, it doesn't mean that we are being rejected, but we are just being redirected. You know, had I stopped trying, maybe I would not have landed a job with a permanent contract in the health sector. So, I am just so grateful and so thankful. I hope this video somehow inspired you to continue chasing your dream. Sometimes we stumble, sometimes we get no for an answer. But the most important thing to do is not to give up. Just stand up and continue chasing your dream while improving yourself. Because at some point, things will make sense. At some point, you will realize that things happen for a reason. At some point, you will realize that you are more needed somewhere else. So thank you very much for staying until the last minute of this video. If you like the content of this video, kindly give me a thumbs up. And if you're interested to hear more inspiring stories, more informative and fun stories from yours truly, please don't forget to subscribe here. And kindly share to your friends, families, exes, and your neighbors. Who knows, with my video, their life would change too. So once again, this is your Filipino hamburger who wants to say that no as an answer is not tantamount to rejection, but a redirection. Have a nice day, guys.